Where might you be going, comrade?
My next mission.
The reclamation of the management training facility was your mission. And now you're just going to walk away without taking responsibility for your failure.
The T-virus has escaped. I will detonate the facility and dispose of it.
Comrade, don't forget who's in charge. You can't just do what you feel like. Maybe you need a little reminder.
This should be intriguing.
I guess he didn't like his lesson. Fine. We have the Talos retrieval to take care of anyway. Everything for Umbrella.
My pursuers left behind. I regrouped with the Star's Alpha team. There was no time for delays. Umbrella's command structure was in motion, and the real struggle was about to begin.
After beating our way as Albert Wesker through the entirety of Resident Evil 0 and on-rail shooter action backwards, we finally get to the Ivan boss fight at the end, or rather the beginning of the entire game. And if there's anything that you want to remember from Umbrella Chronicles, it's this guy. Sergei Vladimir, the most stereotypical of stereotypes in Russian history. This guy is so dripping in not knowing about anything about Russia at all and making that into a character and just basing it entirely off of media and memes that it is possible to get. And I absolutely love it. I am so sad that Sergei Vladimir did not appear in any other game according to Wikipedia other than Umbrella Chronicles, because he is just amazing. This character was perfectly cast with a voice actor. He has such a stupid script, dripping in B-movie nostalgia, that it just works on every level. And it makes the best of Resident Evil not being taken seriously, even by its own creators. Like, this guy is a perfect Resident Evil villain because he is balls to the wall, melodramatic, he is dripping in cliches, and he has amazing character work and an incredibly stupid-ass script. It is the best thing that this game has to offer. Unfortunately, the Ivan boss fight took a lot of that goodwill and basically just threw it out the window. Because the Ivan boss fight is really difficult, really long, and incredibly repetitive. Some of the worst bosses in video game history have done this bullshit that Ivan does. Having 0 changes in his attack repertoire, having like a 12-step attack sequence that doesn't change, being able to tank shots like crazy, and needing to be stunned in order to knock him out of his attack pattern in order to avoid damage. And then just combine it with a ton of QTEs and you get one of the most annoying fucking things that Umbrella Chronicles has dared to do. Even though you can see Ivan's attacks coming miles away before he's even frickin' started, I had to do this boss fight nearly 10 times to get it right. And that's just because Ivan himself has a ton of health. Actually, he has a lot of the same problems that the Leech Queen boss fight did. Tons of health, can just fuck about for the entire boss fight because he doesn't give a shit about actually taking damage. His hitbox is still tiny. It's not as small as the Leech Queen's, but it's damned close. And it's moving around all the frickin' time, added with the punishment that if you don't tank enough hits to his weak spot, which is his face, then he just up and cuts you for massive damage. There's not a lot of healing items in the arena, so you are basically just doing this off of the back of whatever stupid shit that you can find in the arena, including the incredibly easy to miss rocket launcher or grenade launcher sitting in the corner that you finally be able to pick up because you've had to do this boss fight 8 times and literally nothing about it changes as it goes. Because Capcom designed this game to have camera control taken away from the player, and it just throws you in the frickin' hazards all over the place. It's a stupidly repetitive, incredibly wasted effort from Capcom. This is stupidity bordering on the ridiculous. Because the attack pattern does not change. It is set in freaking stone. So having us redo it over and over and over again because we did a couple of tiny fuck-ups here and there and took some damage that we weren't supposed to, like all frickin' survival horror games. You're not supposed to fight all the enemies. You're not supposed to be taking damage. What the hell you doing? Here's the final boss. We haven't put any healing items anywhere for you. Figure it out! It's not that bad, but seriously, Ivan can go fuck off for all the time that I had to use to beat his stupid glasses-wearing ass. And it really is such a shame because, like I said at the top of this video, of anything that Umbrella Chronicles tried to do, Sergei Vladimir and Ivan were some of the most potential-laden things that Capcom had to go with. Sergei, already an amazing character. Ivan, a cool designed, powerful, intimidating monster. If you would have made it work with the on-rail shooter thing a lot better, instead of just fucking us about, then you could have had something special instead of just a giant waste of time, stop sign thrown in the middle of the game for no good goddamn reason. These Albert Wesker sections, the only thing new that is justifying Umbrella Chronicles, even with Sergei involved, ultimately are just filling out the game. They're just being gameplay filler. They're wasting our time to try and make this game seem more valuable than it is. One of the flimsiest goddamn ways I've seen a company try to do it, but it's still shit. And Ivan here is not freaking helping. Like, these guys also have a backstory. Why don't you focus on putting effort into that, Capcom, instead of just fucking us around with a set-in-stone, repetitive, stupidly annoying boss fight? I don't know why that's so hard to understand.